Okay, guys. So what happens when you let's say he attacked you from the single leg standing up, and you ended up over top of him, right? This is a common position to where your leg gets so heavy, you get over top of him like this, right? And he's trying to bring your leg in to regain guard, right? Go ahead. He tries to bring in guard. Yeah, boom. Now I'm in his guard. So when I'm here, no, get the guard. Really get the guard. So go from here to the guard. Yeah. So go from here to close guard. Close guard. Or just to get any guard. Boom. Right, that's what he wants. He wants to get back into the guard position. I want to prevent him from being able to set up any of his grips to collect me and gather me back into his guard. So I have to really pay attention to the details of this kimura that I've isolated from the standing position. Right? Anytime I'm over top of him like this, gravity's going to be on my side. Right? And because he's trying to bring his leg close to him, I'm trying to extend my leg out and away. Right? And from here, I'm going to still keep the grip on the kimura, but I'm trying to put pressure away from his body. Once I get here, I can take my legs out, up and over, and I can hug the back of him, and I can start, if I'm using the kimono, what I like to do when I have the kimono is I like to bring my leg over, I bring him back underneath over top of me, and now I'm starting to feed the lapel from this position. So I hold the lapel open with my opposite hand, and I feed that up into the, let's turn this way. Right, once I get here, I open up the lapel, feed the lapel inside, hug down, and find the cross collar choke. That's option one if you're in the gi. Another option from when you're in this dominant over top position, hugging over him, you're gonna send it back, right? Swim over here and bring your arm in front to where I'm in this position. And this seems like it's like, you're like, oh, why wouldn't you just put your hooks in right away? Because I want him to feel like he can start to escape. I want to give him that space that he needs to get past this knee line. So he's starting to go away. Boom. He's actually giving me better the kimura. I'm going to go back to my side body finishes. So again, I'm here in the standard. Let's say I collapse the single leg or I collapse it. This move is not legal in NCAA wrestling because it is a torque on his shoulder, right? So we can get here a lot of times, and this is called the Merkle position, where I'm holding this position and I'm here. But anytime I start to isolate here and torque on it, it's going to be illegal. But in jiu-jitsu, right, this is our goal. I get here, I'm sending this leg back to break it off, and I'm going to get behind him. Right? If I'm in the gi, I like to get this grip, open it, feed the lapel, and get the cross collar choke. Or if I'm in the no gi, I like to get here and boom, I'm back in the standard juji or setting up the Agazarm finish from earlier. But it's really just knowing how to maneuver around him in a way that you're getting to these standard finishes. So on this one, I'm breaking out, coming out from behind him, and I'm getting here and I'm pulling him back. I'm letting him feel like there's space for him to go out this way, which is allowing me to come back out from underneath him. And same thing, same side body finish. So let's say stand up again. He attacks from the standing position, boom. I bring the leg out, go over top of him. I get him all the way down to the mat to where I'm here. I can bring my leg out, find the lapel, get the lapel choke, get the clock choke. This is a really good one for when you get to this position here. I come out, I re-wrist, and I have here now. When I get here, I started with the kimura trap. I held just the wrist, and then now the hand that's on the wrist is going to open up, and it's going to feed the lapel. right? This is similar to the cross collar choke if I were to take his back, but it's the same concept. I'm holding the wrist. Now I'm holding the wrist here. I'm keeping this wrist tucked in, and I'm walking my legs close to his head in the clock choke position. All right, so that's a really tight choke that gets on really super tight. If you're not careful, you know, your partner can pass out. So just thinking like, you know, what are the best case scenarios for you to do off the Kimura trap from the standing position, right? In this case, I feel him collapsing and going to the ground. I'm gonna stay over top of him and let gravity continue to work on my side. So in this case where I get him over top of it, I have the Kimura trap. I'm gonna send this leg back. If I have an opportunity to grab the collar, I'll grab the collar. If I'm in no-gi and I go from the Kimura trap to the seatbelt, that's good too. Or I can go from the Kimura to bringing my leg out, to coming out back from behind him, to pulling him down, making him feel like he's gonna escape from underneath him, and going back into my side body finishes from here. The key to the Kimura is just knowing where to go based on what he does. Right? We brought him back down to the mat. We're gonna let gravity continue to work on his side. And we can do that by going, if we're in the gi, going to the lapel chokes, going to the cross collar choke, going to the clock choke, or if we're in no gi, going to the seatbelt, back control, letting him feel like he's escaping out in front of us, just to continue to create the space to get us the finish. Let me go over that one more time, from standing to finish. All right, tactical, leg between, get this here. I'm bringing him back down to the ground, and I'm walking here. When I walk here, I like to replace it and just be in the side body control position right here. Punching, obviously, holding this Kimura, getting the clock choke, opening up the lapel, walking forward. Or if I'm going for the back, I have the back, I feed the cross collar choke. If I'm going in no-gi, there's no grips to hold, I go from here, I go to the seatbelt. Or the other option is to be here, and I'm going to bring my legs up, over, and I'm going to fall back into this position. If he falls with me, right, it'll look like that. Or when I'm here, I get to this position, I'm gonna bring him with me. So boom, I go over and I finish right to this position. I have to keep in mind that my arm is going to be across his head, and I'm keeping the lock pointed as downwards while I bring my knee across his head, and I open up and now make space for me to get back into standard juji position. I'm here. All right, from here there's so many different variations, right? We can grab our own lapel if we're in the gi, bring that leg over, go back to that standard external rotation with the shoulder by applying pressure on the joint that way. If I need the reinforcement of my hand underneath, I can get it. Or again, once finish, I can slam my heel into his carotid artery, open up, get my knee under his head, and find the Agazarm finish.